What is up? What is up? What is up, y'all? We are live once again in these internet streets. I'll give y'all a few moments to gather around and come on in here and we'll go ahead and get started. I won't be on here long, but I did want to come and touch bases with you today. Touch and agree, if you will. We got some things going on out here in these community streets that need addressing. And y'all know I'm never one to shy away from addressing things that are going on in the community. So I felt like today was a good day, based on the stories that I'm hearing, to come before y'all and kind of talk about some things. Southern Cookie Cutter is here. Thank you for being here, sis. Appreciated you being on last night and being a sponsor of the stream. Thank you so much. I had a little fun last night for those of you who were on the live stream last night during the debate. I told y'all one of my college degrees is in political science, so that kind of stuff excites me. And I was just really into it to see the foolery that it was. And I have to say, I didn't expect anything more. It was pretty much exactly what I expected it to be. But judging from the chat last night, seems like some people who tapped into the live stream were expecting something else, thinking things were going to be different. So the cookie cutter says the chat was alive. It was. Billy Joe Cowell is here. Thank you for being here and supporting. Says, sorry I missed you last night. Catch the replay. It was interesting. We were just looking at these presidential candidates and, well, we was judging them. I ain't even going to sugarcoat it. We were passing judgment. But things were interesting. I had fun with it. I was hyped. My blood was pumping. My synapses were firing. I said, yo, I love politics, especially corrupt American politics. For those of you out there who follow me who aren't in the continental United States. A lot of stuff going on in American government. A lot of things. Y'all, today was a good day. I didn't even get on to talk about this, but the Supreme Court came through putting a smackdown today, y'all. They overruled Chevron deference. When we talk about draining the swamp, when we talk about the administrative state and all these unelected officials that take power in Washington, D.C. and wield that power over us and control our lives. Man, today was a good day for the Supreme Court to rule against Chevron deference and say, look, y'all, this is how it's going to go. This is the way that the forefathers set up the government. The legislative branch is going to write these laws and pass these laws. When the president signs the law, we are to interpret the law as written. Well, Chevron deference, which came about in the 80s. I'm a 70s baby. Came about in the 80s. I think 1984. Y'all fact check me on that. Bluebells is here. Thank you for being here and supporting. But Chevron deference said that if a law passed by the legislature, by Congress, if it's ambiguous, well, then we're going to defer to administrative agencies within the government. We're going to let them interpret what that law should mean, what it should mean for our lives, what it should mean for our businesses. And since that time in the 80s, because of that deference, the federal government has grown exponentially, y'all. They creating bureaus, departments, and different categories of government to interpret this stuff, just to wield power over us. Well, the Supreme Court, the SCOTUS, in a 6-3 decision, and we expected it to be 6-3, right? In a 6-3 decision, they said, no, Chevron deference is dead. If Congress passes a law and y'all can't interpret what that law means because it was written in an ambiguous way, then y'all need to go to court, fight it out in court, send it back to Congress and let them rewrite it, let them amend the law, get a do-over. Southern Cookie Cutter says at issue is a legal doctrine called Chevron deference. It came out of the 1984 case of Chevron USA, the Natural Resources Defense Council. That is exactly what I'm talking about, which was overturned today by the SCOTUS. It's giving us our freedom back, y'all. It's putting things back into alignment. I know over the last 3.5 years, things have seemed crazy in government. We've seen weaponized government. Things have seemed out of control in government because you got unelected officials that get these jobs. Sometimes through nepotism, sometimes people put them in place and they wield this power through these regulatory agencies to tell us what we can and can't do. Y'all, I'm an American. I know some people in my community don't like it when I say that because they so angry at America. But I talk to them sometimes and I try to get them to see things a different way. I need you to let that anger go. Yes, America has a history, but it's the best thing going in the world. And if you think you're going to win, if you think you're going to ball out, if you think you're going to be successful, well, America is the best place for you to do it. So I need you not to be an America hater. Educate yourself, read the books, study the history, know what America is about and where she has come from, what she was birthed out of. But don't hate it to the point where it throws you off track and you obsess with your hatred for America. I don't even know why I went there, y'all. That wasn't the topic of today, but I thank you all for being here on this Friday. I hope everyone is doing well. Lois D is here. Says the power of prayer can override the personal prideful power. Education is needed. Yes, Lois, I have said it many times on this here channel that education is the civil rights issue of our time. If we can't fix education, we ain't gonna fix the community. We ain't gonna fix it because we got too many dummies running around in the community. We got to fix that at an early stage of life. I was just having a conversation with somebody who I explained how education builds on education. How elementary school is a building block for middle school. How middle school is a building block for high school. How high school is a building block for college. And because so many people in our community are shortchanged. Now, I'm talking about my area in Northern California where I see it firsthand. Where these folks ain't got school books in elementary school. The HVAC system ain't working in elementary school. Kids are allowed to go to school hungry in elementary school, and they fall behind because they have teachers who don't care, teachers who aren't allowed to care because of politics in the school system, in the education system. Lois D, I hear you. If we're going to fix our issues, if we're going to fix ourselves, which is important, I feel like we need to do that. Can't depend on nobody else. We got to fix ourselves. If we're going to do that, we're going to have to focus on education at some point. Because we got too many people running around the hood who are uneducated, who are dumb and make dumb decisions because they are dumb. That's not a knock on them. Well, sometimes it is, but not always. Some of these folks grew up in dumb circumstances. Yeah, dumb circumstances where a dumb daddy wasn't around. They were stuck with a dumb mama who got impregnated by a dumb daddy. Stuck in a dumb environment, in a dumb community, raising dumb kids who, when you send them outside to play, what they gonna find outside? Some old dumb, some old dummies, look like them, act like them, talk like them, uneducated, just like them. You say, well, the school will fix it. No, the school is some more dumbness. The school exacerbates the problem. And those few mothers out there who care enough. That kid comes home from that dumb school, you say, boy, what you learned today? And whatever comes out his mouth is something dumb. And you say, oh, I gotta fix this. I got to undumb this boy. It's a lot of work, especially for a single mother who doesn't have a father in the home. Well, y'all, it's interesting. Ooh, Southern cookie cutter. Now you talking. Says dumb has become an unchecked rampant pandemic. Oh my goodness. If that ain't facts. Lois D says break the chain. Yes. Bring books to the home before they can walk. Yes. Look, Lois D, you talking. I made sure that my kids as babies saw me reading. And some of y'all may have not experienced this, may not know nothing about this, but when you get them kids in them diapers, them infants who can't even talk themselves, and you put them on your lap as a father, see, we going somewhere. As a father, you put that baby on your lap and you open up that book, that them pages with that artwork on it, and they get to see that and they get to touching and flipping. They see you flip the pages and they want to flip. And you get to reading to that child. They internalize that thing. I feel sorry for the kids who don't have that, who didn't experience that. I purposely did it for my kids. And you know what the reward is in that? The reward is one day you pick them up and you put them on your lap. They can't even talk. They sit on your lap and you pull out that book. Or sometimes they even bring the book to you like, let's do this. And you open up the pages and you say, come on up here, boy. See what this is about. They can't even talk. And they get to doing that baby mumbo jumbo. Look, I know I got some mothers in the chat. Y'all remember your baby's mumbo jumbo? Your baby can be 40 years old and you'll still remember what they mumbo jumbo sounded like. Let's be real about it, mothers. You know what that baby gibberish sounded like, and they'll flip them pages and they'll read to you. It's rubbing off. The lessons are being transferred. The knowledge is being transferred. They're picking up on that energy. Well, y'all, came across a story about a little boy. He ain't so little no more. Southern Cookie Cutter says, yes, I could clearly understand my three babies' gibberish. Sound like when I was raising them. Yeah, it never goes away. Urban Southern, look, I'm about to call you the other name. I got to get used to the new one. Southern Cookie Cutter. It never goes away. You remember that stuff as if it was yesterday, even at our age, sis. You'd be like, And here's the thing, you can differentiate. You got three babies, you can differentiate between all three babies because ain't none of them alike. And that's the crazy thing. You raise them up in the same environment, in the same conditions, and you say, well, they all different. Appreciate you, sis. But y'all, I came across this story about little Bronny James. Little Bronny James, little LeBron James Jr., little dude that's trying so hard, little dude that's having so much undue pressure placed upon him by his father. And before I even decided to come on and talk about this, y'all, I looked at some other content creators because I wanted to be careful. I wanted to deal with this in the right way. I didn't want to be misunderstood or misinterpreted. And I said, here go Bronny James, who did not win the DNA lottery like his daddy. Y'all, when LeBron James came out of high school, he was like, it was like he was built for basketball. Southern Cookie Cutter says they all have a different alien language. Yes. Yes, alien language, right. Y'all, LeBron came out of high school, he was 6'9". What? Southern Cookie Cutter, can you imagine one of your babies 6'9"? How you gonna clothe that thing? How you gonna feed that thing? 6'9" and bulky, broad shoulders and all? Hear a lot about LeBron's mom. Hear a lot about LeBron's upbringing. Don't hear much about LeBron's daddy, which plays a role in this here topic as we discuss fathers, because it seemed like his wasn't so active or present in his life. But because he was gifted with the DNA of a basketball player at 6'9", boy, what else you gonna do? And we've had some people, we've talked about basketball before. We've had some people in the chat say, hey, my brother's 6'6", and he didn't even play basketball. He just a dude. But LeBron had 6'9" height with athletic ability. Look, Southern Cookie Cutter says, my baby brother was 6'7". My mom had that challenge. His shoe size when he was 15 was a size 16. My God, today. I hear those stories, Southern Cookie Cutter, and I just try to imagine what you can't walk in Foot Locker at the mall and be like, give me a size 16. They like, bro, boy, we ain't got it. That's a special order. So I can imagine from our generation, Southern Cookie Cutter, how your mama had to deal with that. It had to be difficult. At a time back then saying, yo, I need a 16. Can't walk in a Walmart and get a 16. Look, she says they didn't make that size too much back when he was that age. Yes. Yes, you got a special order that. How long it gonna take to get here, sir? Take my money, because my boy needs shoes. And he big. He didn't ask to be big. That's just what he is. Well, y'all, we got LeBron who came out and established himself in the league as a young man, gifted with size in a league that is benefited by size. And he did his thing. Legendary player, y'all. Hall of Famer, easy. One of the greatest of all time, easy. Gonna go down in the record books, easy. All-time leading scorer, easy. But he had a son. And his son was not gifted with the same DNA because half of that DNA come from the mama. Where that boy get it from? He get it from his mama. Oh God. Oh, I ain't heard that song. This boy with this 6'9" daddy turned out to be a little shorter, not so stocky. Shoulders ain't so wide. Thank you for rocking with me, Southern Cookie. I appreciate you. We got Bronny who 6'1" on a good day, who went to USC to play basketball, y'all. Couldn't even average double digits. You look up and try to see Bronny play, and you say, "Oh, Bronny got 5 points in this game. Bronny got 8 points in that game." Bronny ain't doing so well by college standards. Y'all seem like Bronny ain't got the gift that his daddy had. But a father is in his life, and his father steps in. He know that his son got a dream. He know that his son has ambition. He says, I'm gonna do what fathers do. If they in position, if they can, I'm gonna help my son. I'm gonna help his dreams come true. I'm gonna do whatever I can because I have achieved. I am in position. Y'all, this birthright, ain't it? Boy, I'm your advocate. I am your teammate before I was your teammate. Because this family is a team. I'm going to get out here. I'm going to do everything I can to give you the best life I can give you. And when I see that you fall short, I'm going to hoist you up. I don't know if y'all ever had kids that you had to hoist up. Maybe you was in the store and told them not to touch something and they fall out in the flow and you got to grab them and hoist them up. Oh, you want to cut up and not do what I say? Oh, I got to come back behind you and grab you by your collar and hoist you up. Yeah, that's what fathers do. Sometimes you got to hoist them kids up. Seems like LeBron has done everything in his power to hoist this boy up with his small 6'1" frame, with his single digit point average per game. Y'all seem like he ain't ready. Seem like he ain't good enough. But he has been placed in a position where his father has got up there and spoken on his behalf and said, this boy can start for the Lakers today. Well, what kind of pressure is that putting on the boy? You say he can start in the NBA when he's not even doing that well in college? Are you speaking out of turn, sir? Because we know you as a father who's been there from day one, and I can relate to that. I understand it. You believe in your boy. But don't believe in your boy to the point where you being unrealistic. See what Lois D says. But it's still not the size of the shoulders or shoe. It's all about the capacity and use of the brain. Okay? Fathers are a great influence for children. We need to promote the authority of dads. Yes, and we promote the authority of dads on this channel. We support dads on this channel. But when we talking about basketball, Lois D, you got to be built a certain kind of way. The Spud Webbs of the NBA only gonna come around once in a generation. They're rare. It's a big man's game. So when LeBron comes out and he's 6'9", he built for it. When his son come out and he's 6'1", maybe he not so much built for it. Maybe he got his size from his mama. How can we say that? Because his brother, who is younger than him, is somehow taller than him. Ain't that funny how DNA works? Ain't that funny how DNA works? Have y'all ever seen a family? And I've seen this multiple times, and I point it out every time I see it because it just weirds me out. It makes me think I should have studied biology. Have you ever seen a family that has a mother and a father and two kids, boy and girl? And the boy in the face, the boy looks like the mother. And the girl in the face, the girl looks like the father. Have y'all ever seen that? It always wows me. I'm like, look at that. What happened with the DNA? This is interesting. That the girl looks like the daddy and the boy looks like the mama. I'm just taking an aside, y'all. Humble Strong is here. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you. I think he's meant Bron's son is getting more publicity than other players, eat better than him. I must say, yes, Bronze. I mean, I got you, sir. I got you, Humble Strong. Thank you for being here. Yes, that's going to cause some awkward situations in the locker room when you say, I can bring my son in who didn't even perform at a collegiate level. And I can bring him in and he can start here because we want to make a statement. I'm going to tell you, it's a power move. But when you bring that boy into the league, and he gonna move somebody else out of their spot, out of their starting position, so you can put him in. Yeah, they might give him, 10, 15 games into the season before they really do it. But at some point, they're gonna do it for ticket sales and hype. They're gonna do it. They're gonna move somebody out the way so this boy can play with his daddy. That's the whole point of this. And shout out to Rich Paul and LeBron. It was a power move. It was definitely a power move. Hey, Katie. Thank you for being here. Appreciate your support as usual, as always. But somebody gonna have to answer for that in that locker room. And when I think of the situation, I say, what is LeBron gonna do? You want this boy out here on the court with you? Okay, well, it seems like you've been hovering over him like a helicopter dad. You've been protecting him, you've been promoting him, you've been putting him in position everywhere that you had influence. What you gonna do when somebody get that boy a hard foul? I mean, a real foul. Maybe even a flagrant foul. We've seen it in the game before. Fouls happen in every game, don't they? Don't take it personal because somebody fouled your son. You brought him into this league. You brought him into this situation. But I know how it is. As a father, you want to teach your boy to be a man. Boy, take that foul. Grow up. Be a man. But maybe, just maybe, y'all, that boy ain't equipped like you are at 6'9" to be a part of this environment. But on the other side of that, I have to give him credit for doing everything he can to make sure that his son is successful because that's what fathers should do. Humble Strong says, while Matt McClung from regular family can shoot, won the dunk title, etc. On the Pine, great point guard. If you haven't heard of him, I heard of him. He amazed me in the dunk contest, Humble Strong. I saw it with my own eyes and said, yo, look at this little young blood right here. We ain't heard of him. He ain't had no daddy to plug him into a situation. And y'all, I'm not trying to tell you that it's wrong. I'm pointing it out because it need to be pointed out. And I've seen some voices on the internet that's not really acknowledging the fact that if you wasn't your daddy's child, you wouldn't have got drafted even at number 55. If you wasn't your daddy's child, you wouldn't be in this league. Let me bring this up so y'all can understand what I'm getting at. Yo, there is a list on Wikipedia of Second generation NBA players. I don't know if y'all knew that the nepotism was so strong in this league. But when you look at this list and you say Cole Anthony, his daddy was Greg Anthony. See, I grew up in the age of the daddies. Some of these dudes is so young. They in their 20s, they early on in their careers, but I knew the daddies who played. I knew Rick Barry. Now, I did know his sons, John Barry, Brent Barry, Drew Barry. As part of the Warriors and the Kings and that whole situation back in the day, I knew them. Mike Bibby, son of Henry Bibby. Y'all know that? Bol, son of Manute Bol. Devin Booker, son of Melvin Booker. See, a lot of people don't understand how this thing works, and we teach our kids, oh, if you just get out there and you work hard, or if you just get out there and you practice from sun up to sundown, or if you just get out there and play for the school and play for the AAU, then we can make it work. Not really, y'all. Look at the nepotism that's going on here. Jalen Brunson, the son of Rick Brunson. Yo, daddy played, and now you in the league. Sometimes, y'all, when I reveal this stuff, and I've talked about this in private conversations, there's so many people I come across that don't understand this. They're just looking at situations in life on the surface. They enjoy the game, but don't understand how a lot of these folks who play the game got in through nepotism. Are some of them talented? Yes. Are some of them undeserving? Yes. You know somebody who deserves it? Stephen Curry, whose father was Dale Curry. I grew up watching Dale Curry. And his brother, Seth Curry. Stephen and Seth, both in the league. Daddy's kids. Trace Jackson Davis for the Golden State Warriors out here where I am, y'all. Went to IU just like I did. I didn't know Dale Davis was his daddy. I was hoping the Warriors wouldn't get him. So many names on this list. We're not going to go through them all. I just want y'all to see that the nepotism in the league is real. Tim Hardaway Jr., son of Tim Hardaway. Ron Harper Jr., son of Ron Harper. Y'all, when you ain't got nothing to do, nothing better to do with your time, take a look at that. It might surprise you to see that there are so many dudes in the league. Klay Thompson. So many dudes in the league who got in because their daddy played, because their daddy was associated with the Players Association even after their careers and made a way for their boys. Knew to send them down a certain path and connect them with certain people to open doors for them. Kofi 19 is here, says, when the pressure to perform becomes too much, they'll scribble a slur on Bronny's locker to get people to back off. Yikes. Well, we have to ask the question, Kofi, who put him in that situation to have something scribbled on his locker like that? Did he put himself there, or did his daddy put him there? I think his daddy was looking out for him, but there's a tinge of selfishness that I'm picking up on, Kofi. I think his daddy wanted to do something that was unheard of before. And is in his own ambition, he brought his son into that dream. And we don't know how detrimental it's going to be. We can only wait and see. Big V says this was all planned out. Very plain to see. No, Bronny, LeBron retires or asks for a trade. There were definitely some machinations going on behind the scenes. Let's say that. Rich Paul was pulling some strings, told some other teams not to draft him. This thing was crafted in such a way to fulfill this dream that they selling. But here's the problem, and I've talked to many people about this, y'all. When you bring this little boy into the organization and the conversation, and he adds nothing to the team, then what you gonna do? Because you put him at USC, he added nothing. He wasn't a major contributor. He didn't elevate that team. So when I hear people saying, oh, well, the Lakers might go to the playoffs, the Lakers might be a championship contender. How? Where you get that from? Because you brought the boy on to play with his daddy. The boy is not adding anything to the equation. Y'all falling for the hype and the PR and the marketing. Well, that's not the only time we've heard of that. We can go over to Colorado University, where you got Coach Prime, Neon Dion, as I knew him back in the day, where Deion Sanders has taken on a coaching job, head coach of the football program at Colorado. Go Buffs. And he brought his sons with him. Oh, Humble Strong is clowning now. He could go WNBA. Oh boy. I think you meant Magic Johnson's son, or maybe Dwayne Wade's son. Oh boy. We see you, Humble Strong. Big V says NBA is a reality show. I don't want to hear nothing about Michael Jordan no more. That debate been over. If this don't work out, look out, Cleveland Cavs. LeBron gonna break it all up. Yeah, I don't see it. I don't see it working out. I see it working out to the extent. Let me correct myself. I see it working out to the extent that it is historic. It already is. It's never been done before. So that puts LeBron in the record books in another category. Okay, cool. But I don't think you're going to be able to stop your son from crashing out if the talent level simply is not there. Now, y'all look at LeBron. Y'all look at the LeBron when he came into the league at 6'9". And y'all look at the LeBron today. I'm just going to tell you, when you start to age, Father Time is undefeated, y'all. So I'm just going to say, in my opinion, well, that HGH, that's a miracle worker, ain't it? We ain't casting no aspersions on nobody. We just saying. We looking and we seeing and we saying certain things look like certain things. We get it. You didn't get that from eating right. That physique that you didn't have when you first got there. No, you wasn't in the gym like that. We understand. Look at Alonzo Mourning, who's saying, y'all, I did some things with my body because I wanted to dominate the game. I did some things with my body because I wanted to be an elite athlete. But now that I'm suffering with health challenges, maybe had I thought differently about it, then I'd have been better off. And I'm just going to leave it there. I'm not casting aspersions on anybody. I'm just saying, y'all, everybody trips out when people get in a situation where they are exposed for taking supplements that are banned. But you would be surprised to find out how many people take those supplements. It's not about who takes them, it's about who get caught taking them. Not everybody does. Kofi 19 back with another 5. Thank you for your support. Appreciate you so much. Says the one player we know for certain didn't benefit from nepotism is Jalen Rose. He never met his NBA daddy. Ain't that something? You never met your NBA daddy, but still benefited from the DNA. Ain't that something? That's crazy, Kofi 19. Never even met the man. But somehow he passed on something into your life that was beneficial to you in a certain way. And you went down the same path he went down. Oh, that's worth exploring. That's worth digging into. That story is interesting to me. No, I ain't never met him. But somehow, some way, I end up on a very similar path in life. That's crazy, Kofi. Thank you for injecting that into the chat. That's wild. Humble Strong says a cult, maybe? Well, y'all, if we go over to Colorado, we see Deion Sanders doing a similar thing to what LeBron is doing. This man said, I have earned the right to be the coach of this team, this team that won one game last year. This team that is, y'all remember the Bad News Bears? When I was a kid, that show used to come on TV. We used to gather around the TV and watch it. The Bad News Bears couldn't win a game. That's who Colorado was. But because the situation is a PWI university, Deion said, yo, yeah, I won a couple chips over here at Jackson State, but them folks over there got a different kind of money. It looked greener. They money look greener over there. So if I can go into that situation, if I can turn it around, I can give my sons the exposure they need that they couldn't get here at this little HBCU. I can put them in a position to be successful, to walk in the shoes that I have once walked in. Y'all, he holding their hands like fathers do when we take our little sons by the hands and walk them into Sunday school. We walk into church with them and we teach them the ways of Christ. And we say, this is how I am a man. This is how I am a Christian. This is how you too should be. This is the same thing these dudes doing. I am an athlete. I was once a superstar. This is how you do it. Let me take you by the hand and walk you into a situation. Y'all, you can hate all you want. This is fatherhood. You can be mad all you want. This is fatherhood. Who mad at Deion? Anybody mad at Deion? Anybody mad at LeBron for saying, I need to put my seed that I have raised, that I have brought up, that I have nurtured, I need to put them in position to be great. And this is what I know. Just like if you are an electrician, ain't nothing wrong with you teaching your son the ways of being an electrician. If you're a carpenter, ain't nothing wrong with you teaching your sons the ways of being a carpenter. If you're a politician, might be some things wrong with teaching your son how to be a politician. I'm just going to be honest. Politician ain't what I would expect my loved ones to be. Because there's a certain thing you got to become to be successful in the art of politics. I don't recommend it, y'all, even though I'm fascinated by it. Humble Strong says sometimes the greener cause is a septic problem. Humble Strong, sometimes the grass is greener over there because it's artificial turf. How about that? Well, you put it in the case of Deion. He takes the coaching position, he takes his sons up there, and immediately upon arrival, he got to put a scrappy team together out the portal. He just takes some random puzzle pieces and stick them together and say, oh, we're a team. And his son still breaks records. Well, now that's different. That's not you underperforming at USC. That's him taking you to another level, to a major university, and you are performing on that level saying, I'm here for this. Oh, that's different, y'all. You still got a father holding your hand, but as he's holding your hand and bringing you along, you are performing on par, above par. You're breaking school records. Boy, you out here leaving your name in the record books. You're doing your thing. I think this is a good fit for you. But your daddy needed to pull you along in a situation so that you could be successful on the next level. I ain't mad at fathers who drag their sons along. Listen, y'all. If your father is the CEO of a major corporation, wouldn't you expect that he would put you in the best schools, get you an opportunity to get an MBA at an early age, and insert you into the business so that you could learn the business and be successful? You're going to pass that knowledge down. That's what good fathers do. Don't matter what the arena is. Don't matter what the circumstance is. If a father has a skill that they're successful at, they're going to try to pass that thing down to their sons. Now, sometimes the sons reject it and they say, that's not me. Just like Magic Johnson and his son. Oh, boy, that's a big old boy you got there, but he don't identify as a boy at all. With his big old self. Well, y'all, and I'm going to wrap this up because I've been on longer than I've expected to be, but how do y'all feel about this same father-son relationship when it comes to pastors? Oh, I done already stepped on somebody's toe. When your pastor wants to pass down a talent or a gift, mother Twinkles, I hear you in the chat, mother. When that pastor wants to pass down something to his son and say, boy, this is how this goes. This is how you preach. This is how you teach. This is how you tune up. This is how you administer the gospel. And because I had it, you can have it. Let me bring you along and hold your hand and put you up here in front of the people. Y'all, I was born and raised Kojic. I just saw Bishop Shear put his grandson up over the people. I think he was like 12, 13 years old, and let that 13-year-old boy preach over the people. Does that still work? Can it be passed down? Can I take the anointing and pass it down to my son as he 10 years old? Still peeing in the bed? Can I put him up before the people? Now, I should have had that clip because I just finished watching the AIM convention this week, and Bishop Wooten, who is, I believe he's the second administrative assistant of the Church of God in Christ. I streamed it on the internet, y'all. The man was up preaching, up looking like Eveline off the Wiz. I don't know where they found it. Milwaukee, I believe, is where he come from. They done found this man. He up preaching before the people. And you know what he said? Y'all gotta look it up for yourself. It's on the internet. I saw it, y'all. The man is preaching and sweating. I sweating out his suit before the people. He leaned into the mic and said, I gotta pee. That's what he said. It's a bishop on the general board of the Church of God in Christ, y'all. Southern Cookie Cutter says, I love Bishop Wooten. Southern Cookie Cutter, is that the one are we talking about the same one? I'm not talking about Patrick Wooden from North Carolina, who's running for the general board this year. I love Patrick Wooden myself. No, this Bishop Wooten. It's a different bishop. And that man, Humble Strong said, I'm dying. I hate I missed it. Look, search it on YouTube. It's out there. That man is preaching on a microphone at the convention and leaned into that mic and said, I got to pee. I said, oh my God. Well, if that's the anointing you have, sir, the anointing of, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it on this internet. I'm not. But I'm tempted. I'm not going to do it. But I hope you wouldn't pass that down to your sons. What y'all think about it? Because the assumption is just because I can play ball, that my son can play ball. And y'all know who I forgot to shout out? The Ball family. Shout out to them dudes. That Ball daddy, he got out there and he marketed his sons and he pushed his sons. He made sure all of y'all knew his sons. He set up some independent business deals. If y'all know anything about me, you know I preach independence to these young boys every day of the week and twice on Sunday. Because your rights are yours until you give them away. Don't give them away. Build your business. One customer at a time, one fan at a time. Whatever your business is, build it up yourself. Be independent. Shout out LeVar Ball, I believe his name was. Set his sons up. Well, y'all, just because you can play basketball, does that mean your son can play? Just because you one of the greatest to ever play football and baseball? Dion was a mean dude. Went to a Super Bowl and what do they call the national championship for baseball, y'all? Somebody put it in the chat. I can't think of it. Y'all help me out. The World Series. Thank you. It came to me. You go to the Super Bowl and a World Series? Boy, you a phenom. You a freak of nature. Can you pass that down to your kids? Saw Dion in the interview. He said he tells his boys not to try to be me. You ain't gonna be me. Thank you, Southern Cookie. I got it. World Series. He said, don't try to be me. Be the best you can be. Kofi 19 with another 5. Thank you, sir. Says, will we still respect LeBron if he chases another record first and encourages one of his sons to marry Zion? Kofi 19, where are you going with this, bro? What? If he encourages one of his sons to marry Zaya Wade? What is that? That's terrible. How you even let your mind go there? We Southern Cookie Cutter said, ooh, we Kofi 19. We need to anoint Kofi 19 with oil on this evening, on this Friday evening. Kofi, what? Katie says, is Zaya the trans? Zaya is the misguided boy. Because at that age in life, there's so many things that go through the mind of a child. It's unfortunate. Some bad parenting going on there. And it's just me judging from the outside looking in. I ain't got no inside information, but so many things go through the mind of a child as they're developing. I hope they haven't done anything permanent at this point. But the way they present, it's like they support those kinds of things. They support self mutilation. And that's what it is. Because you can feel how you feel, you can act how you act, and you ain't got to mutilate yourself. You can feel how you feel, you can act how you act, and still love yourself. Y'all, these things come from a lack of self love. Ain't nobody taught you how to love yourself. And sometimes you got to go through some things in life and figure it out on your own, but your parents got to put you in the right situation and not encourage the demonic. Your parents should be the one, those fathers, those absent fathers, the ones who don't be around to teach you like they need to impart the right things into their sons. That father should be there to tell you, boy, your nose this wide. Because God made it that way. And that's what makes you unique. That's what makes you you. And that's why ain't nobody else you. Your eyes are that color because that's the way God wanted it to be. I need you to be happy that your eyes are your eyes and ain't nobody else got your eyes. Well, if we ain't got no fathers in the home, who gonna tell these boys that? If the fathers in the home are trying to force their boys into positions that they were once in, even though the puzzle piece don't fit, even though you came into the league at 6'9", you gonna take this boy at 6'1" and try to push him into a situation? Simplify is here. Thank you for being here. Appreciate your support as usual. Thank you. Katie says, nowadays it's literally being promoted to our kids and celebrated. It's heartbreaking. Yes. I'm in California, Katie. It's all through the school system. It's a part of it. And you got folks out here barking about, I believe it was Tennessee, who said you can put the 10 Commandments in the classroom and folks losing their minds. Well, out here, it's nothing to walk into a classroom on meet the teacher night or back to school night, and you see all kind of pride rainbow stuff all over the room. I remember I had an incident where my son, my, my youngest son, was graduating from elementary school, and we went to the elementary school for the little graduation situation, and his teacher showed up, a whole man. Thank you, Katie. She says it's Louisiana. This man show up with painted fingernails and all kind of garb. I said, that's how he show up to the graduation. He didn't look like that on Meet the Teacher night. Cause I'd had something to say. Humble Strong says, you're killing me. Yes, God made you unique. I didn't hear about the Bronny thing. Well, Bronny is a thing. It's all over the media. Shador Sanders is a thing. It's all over the media. And I believe Shador is built. I believe he can be developed through Colorado. I believe he is NFL material. Now, he got a brother, Shiloh. When I look at Shiloh play, I say, oh, he average. That's what I see. Oh, he all right. Like a Bronny. Oh, he all right. But you know what, y'all? We have a history of elite sports in these national leagues, NFL, NBA, where we know you got to be better than all right to get drafted. You got to be better than okay to get selected. So what do we say about these dudes who hold their son's hand and say, I got the keys. I'm going to let you in. Is that fatherhood? Is that great? Is that cool? Is that okay, y'all? Well, if you think it's okay there, let me take you on over to the church situation because we got a church, West Angeles, down there in LA, where Bishop Blake has become incapacitated, or at least he's not healthy enough to lead the church anymore. What'd he do? What'd he do? What y'all think he did? Somebody put in the chat what Bishop Blake did down there at West Angeles that they spent so much money to buy a block of premium land. What you think he did with that church? All right, y'all ain't jumping in the chat. We moving along because I'm gonna get out your way. He gave it to his son. He put it in the hands of his son. And you know what I heard round the way? That the members of the church are fleeing it like the plague. Like they running up out of there, like that multi-million-dollar edifice is not even full on Sundays anymore. Now that he has handed over the reins to his son. Y'all, do that mean that a point is being made or proven? Is that providing evidence that maybe the spirit of preaching and pastorship should not be handed down from father to son? Have y'all ever seen a situation where the father could preach and hoop and win souls for Christ and just had a strong ministry and hand it over to the son and it just fall flat? Anybody ever seen that? It's a thing. Is the anointing to pastor and lead God's people, is that transferable through genetics? It's the question I'm asking. And I ain't gonna hold y'all on it. I'm gonna leave you with it because I don't know the answer. It's something that I'm asking myself today when I look at situations like Bronny James and I look at situations like Shador Sanders and I take those situations and I apply them to my life. And I look at my church surroundings and I say, I've seen so many pastors whose sons came up preaching. And it's an interesting come up in itself because most of them came up as musicians in the church. They start off playing the drums and then they get to a certain level and they branch out to the keys or the bass or the guitar or whatever. And at a certain point, when they music career and aspirations for secular music don't work out, then they say, okay, well, then I'll preach. Seem like preaching is a last resort. But in the Black church, I've seen it hundreds of times. And it's so interesting because we got so many preachers in the Black church who understand how musicians operate and don't want to reveal the fact that they former musicians and they can play. I mentioned Bishop Blake. Bishop Blake could play. But once they put on that robe and get in that pulpit, that is not what they want to be known for. They want to shed that cloak and put on a robe of pastorship, leadership. I'm going to leave y'all with that and let that sit on your mind because it's so common in the Black church. Something happened to the pastor, they hand it to the son. So many times the son, even in situations where the saints, y'all look at that boy grow up there, you know he ain't ready. You know he ain't stable. You know he ain't saved. You know he got issues because you've seen him his whole life. You know the boy. And what do y'all do when you get an opportunity to have a say so in the matter, you vote him in. You vote him in as if it was a birthright, as if the church owes that to him because of his bloodline. Is that what God would have us to do? That's my question to you. Because we have so many saints that say, I grew up under the daddy and I'm going to sit right here under the sun. He can't preach his way out of wet paper bag, but I'm going to sit here and listen to him because I'd have known him since he was born. Katie says John Osteen was good. Then Joe Osteen got his church. But he sure don't preach the same, Katie. Joe Osteen be telling jokes. I tend to like Joe Osteen. I think he's an interesting dude to watch. I don't see him as a preacher. I see him as an entertainer. I see him as a motivational speaker kind of person. But I don't see no oil whatsoever on Joel Osteen. And look, Katie's last sentence said the same thing. He seems more like a motivational speaker. That's how I look at him, Katie. I'm glad you see it the same way. That's how I see Joel. But I want y'all to think on that. Ponder on that. And I may follow up on this because I want to know what you think. Leave it in the comments. Y'all let me know. Because this is a common thing where a father can bring up a son in ministry and say, well, you watched me do it. You saw how I did it. And that's the interesting thing, because is God giving it to you or is your daddy giving it to you? And if your daddy give it to you without God's blessing, is it worth anything at all? I mean, what are we really doing? But it seems to be common, y'all. And it puts me in the mindset of a father who would look at the church as a business. And I can pass this business down to my son. Just like any other business, like a corporation, like anything else. Oh, this is something I've built. Let me pass it to my son. Well, that ain't ministry. That's something else. That's something else. And I don't know that God has blessed that. Y'all, what do you think? Y'all know when I come on here, look, Katie says that's acting. Woo, that's acting. Now we could do a whole live on acting, Katie. We could really go in on. Let me tell you. No, I'm not gonna tell you. We've already been on here over an hour. But acting in a church setting, oh my goodness. Yeah, we might need to talk about that one, Katie. There's a lot of acting going on. There's a lot of pretending going on. There's a lot of faking going on. And it's about time we address it. It's about time we deal with it. It's about time we really lay it bare before the community, because somebody got to fix it. In this age where churches are emptying out, in this age where the AIM convention just went on in the Church of God in Christ, and it looks like attendance was down in a big way. They not showing up no more. Whether it's a convention or a revival or a musical or even Sunday morning service, they're not showing up like they used to. So we have to deal with that as a community and take it upon ourselves to deal with it, to discuss it, to talk about it, and find solutions. Southern Cookie Cutter says, me as well. Joe Osteen is a storyteller. Like Mr. Rogers. Sometimes his presentation comes across as a little Mr. Rogers like. I don't know if that's intentional, but you know what? He's a very rich man. It seems to be working, but ain't no oil in that place. Kofi 19 says Mustafa Farrakhan has literally stood behind his father for 40 years, but I don't think he'd ever see fit to replace him. Facts. He just stand there like security, like, you're not gonna touch my daddy. I'm in charge of this. I'm gonna make sure he good. I got his back. I got his six. But I don't see him stepping up to take his place. And we know Farrakhan ain't got no oil either. If we really want to get on that. But we not. We're not. We just talking about things that fathers can achieve that they can pass down to sons. And I don't think it extends to the anointing. I don't think the anointing is inherited. I think physical ability can be inherited, yes. But you got to understand that LeBron James is only 50% of Bronny's DNA. Bronny mama ain't tall. So Bronny didn't win the NBA body type lottery like LeBron did. He got his mama's height that took it down from 6'9" to 6'1". Now his younger brother is taller than him. It's just how life works, y'all. David Creation says, what does having no oil mean? It means having no anointing. Katie says, I can say I'm a car because I hang out in the garage, but it ain't true. I can say I'm a Christian just because I sit in the church and learn the actions of others, but it don't make it true either. Appreciate y'all. Southern Cookie Cutter in the building. Katie in the building. Kofi 19, active sponsor of the stream today. Humble Strong got active in the chat. I appreciate y'all keeping the conversation going. Semper Fi was in the building. We rocked out today, y'all. I didn't know how y'all would receive that type of conversation, but it's all over the internet. Everybody's talking about Bronny James and they're going to hype him up because of who his daddy is. And then he going to get in the league and he going to let everybody down. Why do I say that? Because he's had chances to perform on lower levels and he didn't. So we're looking at patterns and using history as a predictor of the future. That's all we doing. Ain't no magic to it. You know? That's where we at, y'all. Salapter is in the building supporting the thank you for being here. Yo, I appreciate you. I ain't gonna hold you no more. I just want you to think on these things. And if you come up with something, please feel free to drop it in the chat. Leave a comment. I'm leaving this video up. Drop a comment. Let me know what you think. In my opinion, nah. Nah. Certain things are not transferable. Yes, you can make a pathway. You can hold the keys to the door as a father and you can walk your son through that door. You could close the door and lock it once he in there. That don't guarantee his success in that situation. Look at Hunter Biden. As privileged as he was, his daddy was an elected government official at 29 years old. Boy, you have lived a life, a privileged life. Still messed it up. Still became a crackhead. Still crashed out. As fathers, we need to do everything we can for our children, not just the boys, the girls too, y'all. It just so happens that this particular story was pertaining to sons. But look, as fathers, we need to be there for our kids every day of their lives. We need to provide them support and guidance, which means we got to be better so that what we give them can be better. I hope y'all picking that up. See, I'm not putting the burden on the kids at a certain point. I'm putting the burden on us. It's just the way I think, just the way my mind works. I'm going to take it upon myself to fix everything I can fix. And when I get to a point where I can't do anything about it, well, it's up to God at that point. I put it in God's hands because I've done all I can do. Hope y'all picking up what I'm putting down today. And you know what? Share the video with some father out there who might need to hear the information if you think it's helpful. Because that's what we're trying to be on this channel. That's what we're trying to be for this community. We're trying to be a help one to another. And I appreciate y'all rocking with me because y'all have definitely helped me in so many ways. Katie and Southern Cookie Cutter, and everybody who's here in the chat, all our mods on this channel, and Humble Strong dropping in and keeping the chat lively, and Kofi 19 for sponsoring this stream. Y'all, I hope I give as much to you as you give to me in this setting. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. And I ain't going to hold you no more on this day. I thank you for being here. I appreciate you as always. And y'all, I hope to see you on the next one.